Okay. So the chapter that we are beginning today is les objets et les gens. Liaison हो रहा है. So les objets. We will not pronounce this S, and we know the sound of ET, which is A. Les objets means the objects, the things around us, et les gens, and the people. So that is what we are going to study in this whole chapter. Les gens. Will not pronounce S at the end, and EN is on. So there is a scenery in front of you. That's a scene from a class. There are a number of things in a class that are being highlighted over here. First, let's learn that as a vocab. First of all, there is an instructor in the class, and we can see that it's a she, feminine hai. So that is why our article will be une. Une institutrice means one instructor. Then you have a board, which is masculine. So we will use a in front of it, a tableau, a board. A table is there, it's feminine. So we will use une in front of it, une table. When you talk about just one student here, this student is called élève. और क्योंकि masculine है, so un élève लिहाजा हो जाएगा यहाँ पे. The desk where students put their notebooks and do the work, that is un pupitre. Pupitre. And that is masculine too. So a is being used in front of it. There are some notebooks, more than one. So they are plural. That's why we are defining them with the plural indefinite article, that is they. They cahiers, and we'll put S at the end of the cahier. Some notebooks. Moving further, a geometry box is there. So une trousse. Now here, une has been used because this trousse, the geometry box, is feminine in French. When you talk about some random students like this, because this is a mixed group and there are some students randomly, we are calling them out. So for some, we'll put they, and then after étudiant, we'll put S. We'll do the liaison while speaking. So it will become des étudiants, which is some students. If we are targeting to a pen, we know pen is called stylo. A pen will become un stylo because pen is masculine. Cartable is again masculine. Cartable is the school bag. So therefore, we will put un in front of it. Even a pencil is masculine, so un crayon to specify one pencil. Some scales are there. Some rulers are there, so they règle, and we will put S at the end. They règle. Here, some windows are there. Now, this is a new word, windows. That is called fenêtre, because we already know this is être. So, fenêtre. Des fenêtres. Some windows. We are talking in generalization. And then we have a door, which is une porte. The female version of un élève is une élève. If the student, one student you were pointing out, was the feminine one. Now, vividly, you can see the usage of une, un, and they. They have their function in French. They are denoting the articles in the presence, in the ambience. Depending upon the gender of the noun which is coming after, we have to choose un, une, they. Now, let's understand with the logic that why we needed them in the first place and how to recognize that where it should come, in what manner. Okay? So let's get started with that part. Let's try to understand the articles in a depth. First of all, they're called les articles. And in English, we call them articles. If you just translate it word by word into the English, the things is the meaning of les articles. Articles are things basically. Things, people, person around you, जिन चीजों को हम देख सकते हैं. Les articles दो तरह के होते हैं. The first one is indéfini and the next one is défini. When we talk about les articles en défini, en général, हम बात कर रहे हैं उन articles के बारे में which are talking about the things which are not defined at all, which are not definite. We are talking about some random things, maybe one thing. Suppose if you say, I was walking through the market and there was one car. You don't know whose car was it, and you defined the number that it was just one. So the indefinite article gives you either the indication of the things which are existing in general. There is no strong connection with anything or anybody. They're just general, random things. Or either it is one. Now I'm driving to the concept of les articles indéfinis. When you talk about any random thing in French, suppose हम एक चीज के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं या some के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, but we are not making them to define anything or linked anything specific or special, they will fall under the category of indéfini. For example, if I just say a car, I will say voiture, but I will write une in front of it to specify the word a. So a car will become une voiture. Similarly, if I talk about a pen, it will become un stylo. Now, how would we know that whether a is going to change in a or a is going to change in une? It's very easy again. So when the following article is masculine, singulier, masculine plus singular, you will choose a in front of it, where it will take the meaning of both a and an in the English language. It doesn't matter here if it is a vowel or whatever is coming along. But when it is feminine and singular, your noun is feminine and singular, then you will choose une to indicate it, which will ultimately give the meaning of a and an. Only this is the thing that you need to keep in your mind. That's very simple. Here, there is no difficulty to determine, okay, what is the sound? Do I need to put a? Do I need to put an? Simply just look at your noun. Voiture is feminine, so definitely I'm going to put une in front of it if I have to write a car. Stylo is masculine, so I will put simply un. You can take any example. Like if I say a pencil, suppose a pencil. Now, what is a pencil?
Crayon.
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 Is it masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Masculine. So what will we choose? A or une?
A.
So ultimately it will become a crayon. And let's try one more example. I say a house. What is a house?
Maison.
Maison. And what's its gender?
Masculine.
Is it masculine or feminine?
I guess it's feminine. Masculine.
It's feminine.
Feminine, yeah.
So it will become une maison.
Une maison.
Okay. Now, interesting point over here is there is one more article which anyhow never existed in English or in any other language, I would say. बाकी languages में होता है हिंदी पंजाबी में, but not in English. And that article is they. Here, you don't need to worry about whether it is the masculine or the feminine one. But if it is coming in its masculine or feminine form along with the plurality, both are there, and the condition is now a plural indication is there. So you are going to put simply they, where they indicates some. This is the addition in the les articles en défini rather than your English language. अब आप किसी को भी choose कर सकते हो. A car, if I have to say generally, again, the thing is this only, that we are talking about the general things or one thing. One के लिए तो we have already the condition even if we talk about the general things, suppose we don't know whose cars are there. There are some cars. So when I say some cars, I don't need to worry about the gender of the cars anymore. I will just put this they first and then car, that is voiture, and to show now this is the plural noun, I will put s. Generally we take s at the end. Okay, this is for the feminine. Now let's take one more example. I say some pens. So for some, I'll put they, and for pens, I will put stilo first, and to refer that as, there you go. Pronunciation, however, will remain same because S doesn't change the pronunciation at all. So it will become they voiture, they stilo. Are we good?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Let's understand it a little bit more. So this was in the chapter also. Les articles en défini, indefinite articles. The indefinite articles are used to talk about unspecified object. When you're talking about in general, this is a car, this is a book, this is a pen. You don't know whom it is belonging to. This is a city, this is a country, this is a tree, this is a book. There are some animals, there are some students, there are some chairs in the class, but still you don't know whose belongingness this is. This is the unspecified. They don't belong to anyone. Or you are talking about in objects in general. You will use les articles en défini, definitely. There are three in number. Un, which is for masculine singulier, une for feminine singulier, and they for masculine or feminine singulier. I guess we've already discussed it at pretty much length. So moving further, it is simply like this. These are the particular examples. As you can see, some notations are there. For masculine category, we took the first example of papillon. As it is masculine, so we need to put the article un, and it will become a butterfly. Crayon, this example we have just done, a pencil is a crayon. But in case of feminine, you will put un in front of the article, your noun. Like here, pomme is feminine, and we'll put un in front of it. Regular, it is feminine too, so we'll put un in front of it. When it comes to the plural case, again, you don't need to worry about their gender at all. Just replace your indefinite article, whether it is un or whether it is un, with they. As you can see here, un papillon has been changed to des papillons with the addition of an s at the end to show its plurality, and une pomme has been changed to des pommes, which means some butterflies, some apples. Similarly, the other examples have been changed also. Un crayon has been changed to des crayons, and un règle has been changed to des règles with the addition of an s at the end. The rules are pretty simple here. Attention. In French, all the nouns are either masculine or feminine. So if you are wondering that how will I understand which is masculine and which is feminine, so I'll give you a simple hint over here. 80% of the time, the nouns which are ending with E are feminine. But exceptions are always there in French. Always expect the unexpected here, okay? There is a list though, which comes for the endings of masculine and feminine. Although it doesn't claim that you will get the 100% of it. Eventually over the time, you will get familiar to those. But we will discuss those lists and we will have it on our classes and we'll be discussing it. Moving further, so from there you will have the fair and square idea. Moving further, let's try to understand that how these nouns are to be made plural, because अभी अभी हमने इनको plural करना सीखा. In general, we add an S to make the noun plural. This is the simplest rule. Even if you want to change even the simple article, कहिए, this will take S at the end, and your article, indefinite article, will change to they. Whether it is or whether it is un, both has to change to they for making their plural. And your actual noun will take S at the end. This is the first rule, the general one. After that, the nouns which are already ending with S, X, and Z. Abhi, we talked about the noun which are not ending in any of these. Na to S mein, na X mein, na Z mein. But if your noun is already ending in its singular form, then you don't change the ending at all. You don't put any S, any additional S. For example, ne. Ne is nose. However, your indefinite article has to change to they, but ne will not take any extra spellings. So this will remain they, ne. Ne, a nose, they, ne, some noses. Along with that, if we have to change the noun into the plural, which are ending with EU, AU, or EAU maybe, we need to put extra X at the end and not S to make them plural. Note this point very carefully. If your noun is ending in EU, AU, or EAU, to make it plural, this go same. Will change to they. Un also, if there is a case, that will change to they. But your EAU will take up an extra X. EAUX. And here, again, your EAU or AU will take up an extra X, not S. So, a gato will change to de gato. Gato is a cake. So, a cake will change to some cakes. Un oiseau, because this is the liaison which is happening over here. Un oiseau will change to des oiseaux. Means one bird will change to some birds. These are the main rules that you need to keep in your mind. There are more to these, but for now, for our level, these are more than enough to go. These are the primary one that you should know. Now, the conversation below this is showing you the usage of the indefinite articles. Let's understand it. So, these are the conversation. This is a conversation between two friends, maybe. One is Gabriel and the another one is Peter. So the Gabriel said, Salut, j'aime cette gomme. Now, cette here is demonstrative adjective. We'll soon do this. This is to point out about the objects and the people. So he said, Hi, I like this eraser. Peter said, Salut, Gabriel. Cette gomme est superbe. We'll put the sound till B because of the E. So, hi Gabriel, this eraser is superb. J'ai aussi une règle, un cartable et des crayons. This eraser is superb. I also have one scale, une règle, un cartable, a school bag, and some pencils. Gabriel said, C'est excellent, Peter. T and E will get liaison, and EN will give you the nasal sound, which is on. T at the end will not be pronounced because it's a consonant. C'est excellent, Peter. This is excellent, Peter. Peter said, Merci, Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. Now you can see the usage of these articles again. If regular was feminine, so un has been used. Cartable was masculine, so un has been used. General bathi. One scale, one bag. And the crayon, some pencils were there, so they has been used. This is how you use them in a conversation. During a conversation, they are going to help you if it is just a general pointing out of the objects.